Alright, so I'm going to be going over the most commonly used tactics in FM, Football Manager. Obviously, you can't talk about formations without talking about the most commonly used formation, which is the 4-3-3. In this one, you have something similar to what City uses, but an alternative you can do if you're using a complete forward is Bernardo Silva's position, his role, you can change it to an inside forward, especially since he's left footed. In this formation, the full backs would push inside and invert towards the midfield, as the midfielders push upwards, as their role is that of Mezzala's. The next 4-3-3 we're looking at is Pep's Barca. Before we start using Messi as a false nine, you have Cancelo as the complete wing back. That's the position Alves played. Like Yamal as Tequarista, which is where Messi was playing before false nine. The midfield tries to imitate the classic Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. De Jong as halfback and Pedri as Mezzala. I agree with those. But if you want a role that is much similar to what Xavi played during Barca's golden years, I'd rather use roaming playmaker than a deep line playmaker, which Gavi is set to. It's much better to use Gavi as a roaming playmaker or whoever you want to use in that position. Another piece of advice is it's better to use one ball playing defender and then a central defender rather than playing two ball playing defenders, as that makes your defense more prone to errors. And then I'll change Test again as a sweeper keeper set to defense rather than attack, except if you're using a very high line. It's much better to use a super keeper set to defense. This next one is similar to the Christmas tree formation, although for the Christmas tree formation, it's more likely that the wingers would be AMs rather than out on the wings. The only change I would like to make is as the right back moves into the midfield, I'll change the CM on support to CM attack on attack so that there's space for the right back to move into. Also, I prefer the middle midfielder is the one on deep line playmaker defense, while the person at the left, that's McAllister, is the one on ball winning midfielder on defense. Next up, we're going to talk about the most overpowered tactic on FM. It has been the most overpowered tactic on FM since at least FM 22. Of course, I'm talking about the classic 4-2-3-1. What I'll change in this setup is I'll use wing backs instead of full backs. Change one of the ball playing defenders into a central defender. Then instead of using two inside forwards, one will be an inverted winger and then the other will be an inside forward. A lot has been said on how the advanced forward is so overpowered in this FM, and in like the last three versions, the advanced forward has been like a cheat code. If you want your striker to score a lot, then the advanced forward is the position you want to use. Attacking midfielder on attack is not a bad idea, although I might try attacking midfielder on support or an advanced playmaker instead in that role. Then for defense, I'll rather go with a deep line playmaker on defense at the right and then maybe a segundo volante on the left, as that would add a lot to the attack. The segundo volante is one of the most underrated positional roles in FM, and if you're using two defensive midfielders, it's a position that you want to try. Next up, we have the 4-4-2 diamond. For some reason, since like FM 19, I've not been able to get good results with this formation. It's still an amazing formation and looks easy on the eye. What I'll change here is I'll prefer to use wing backs instead of inverted wing backs, as in a formation that is already narrow, why use full backs that will make the play even more narrower. Then I'll change both of the midfielders, the central midfielders, one into a Mezzala on attack and then the other into a Carrilero. Then use an SS on the AM strata. Instead of an attacking midfielder, use a shadow striker. Then one of the attackers change it to a false nine or a deep line forward on support. The defensive midfielder is okay, and I like the choice of central defenders, one on central defense and the other on ball playing defender. Alright, before I go into the less commonly used four at the back formations, who do you think is the actual balondor favourites? Who do you think had the best season? Who do you think is actually going to win it? Who do you think deserves to win it? Then also, how much importance do you think the UCL final is going to have on who wins the Ballon d'Or? And then do you think the Nations League or the Club World Cup have any difference to make in who wins the Ballon d'Or?
This is gonna be good. You know how long I've been waiting for this?